In this video, I'm going to show you how to create an effective Facebook ad. If you're getting overwhelmed by seeing me in the Power Editor or the Ads Manager is what it's now called, don't be. I'm kind of showing you this backwards because what I want to do is show you how to do the targeting first, because that is probably the most critical. And then from there, I want to show you what a good ad looks like, how to set up the ads. And then in the next module, we're going to go all the way from start to finish, from the campaign level all the way down to the ad set and the ads, how to build out a campaign. And I'm doing that this way. I'm teaching you it this way because I don't want you to get overwhelmed, get in here, start messing with all the options without kind of seeing it laid out from what we're actually trying to accomplish. So in this video, let's just show you what you have access to when you create ads. Below this video, I'll also show you a bunch of example ads for some common themes that have worked with Facebook ads for some seller and cash buyer type leads. And let's get into it. So the first thing you have to do is select which page you want the ad to run from. So if you run multiple pages, you can have the same pixel fire on all of them, and then in the actual ad itself, you tell them, which brand you want to get charged or be seen for that ad. Finally, you come down here to create ad. You can pick from an ad image or an ad image with multiple images, which is called a carousel. A collection, this is really common for e-commerce. I typically don't use it for real estate type ads, but I will use the ad image or video and the ad carousel quite often. So in this example, let's just do a simple image ad. You can have some image ads uploaded to your account, or if you don't have any, Facebook gives you the ability to search through Shutterstock for some houses that you can use in your ads. I like to find pictures of houses that are, obviously local and would represent a house that I have bought or would buy. So nothing too nice and nothing too run down. Obviously not that house. But typically like these type of photos don't get the best engagement just because they're so stock photo looking. So find a house that looks real, or find some people who, are indicative of customers you've done deals with in the past. All right. So for this example, let's just choose this house. Website URL. So we want to drive them to where they're going to be. I would suggest using UTM codes. I'll get a little off topic here, but if you just go search for the campaign URL builder, and then you type in your website, what this will allow you to do is get more data being sent to your Google Analytics account, assuming you have that installed on your website. If you have a Carrot website, it's really easy, and there's a help site tutorial I can link you to show you how to do that. Basically, you just put in some extra information here, and I'll go through it very quickly here. All right, so what this is saying is, where do you want the traffic to go? The campaign source, yep, so they're coming from Facebook. The medium, cost per click or cost per conversion is what I commonly refer to this as. Name the campaign, and then the term. So when you have multiple ads, maybe you're gonna run a second ad, and maybe you just make this, version 2 or whatever. And then they give you the actual long URL down here, which you've probably seen when clicking around the internet. And then you put that in here. So now Facebook is going to send data to your Google Analytics account, so you can see things like time on page, what browser they're using, all that kind of stuff. Facebook gives us most of that data, but I like to send data to as many places as possible because it's like one of those things you can't go back and get later. All right, so a little tangent there, but if you're analytical and into data with your Facebook and website, I think you'll appreciate that. So in the text, that is what's going to go above the image here. So let's just type in a little bit. I've seen multiple ways that people have done this. You can do what's called long copy, meaning they'll type out like a story. If you have a house you need to sell, then, and it can just be like really long copy up here. And that works well for people who are kind of on the fence and you want to build curiosity with, or you want to build credibility with. So you can maybe tell a case study. So like, hey, I'm so-and-so, and I want to tell you about a recent house that we bought from Tom and Mary. Tom and Mary were going through a divorce and they needed to sell their house quickly for cash so they could go their separate ways. We came in, you get it. So you write this whole story out to go along with the ad so somebody gets context around, what it is your business is offering and what you're selling. And then the other thing I've seen people do is either no text up here or just really short, like okay, so just giving a little bit more context again to the ad itself and kind of giving your value proposition or what you could offer right there. The display link is, if you're familiar with pay-per-click, it's kind of like the vanity URL. So this is what they're actually going to see on the ad. So we're not going to see this, ugly looking URL with all this, weird stuff in it. They'll just see what you put here, and that's shown right here. The headline is obviously the headline. Okay, so what makes a good headline, right? So it needs to obviously tell them what you're going to offer them or, what you can do for them. It has to be catchy and it has to be short and concise. The reason for that is, Facebook will let you do a longer headline. Let me just show you that. But look what happens on mobile, right? They cut it off. So on desktop, it's gonna look fine. But most of the time, data shows that a lot, like almost 50% of your mobile traffic will come from, of your traffic will come from mobile, and like all Facebook traffic is like 84% from mobile, which is pretty insane. So you wanna make sure these are nice and short so they show up on mobile as well as on desktop, okay? And then finally, the news feed description link. So that's what's gonna be down here below. Facebook pulls this in automatically from the website page. So if you're fine with it, you can leave it. Otherwise, you can add a little bit more context here. So I'll go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so you could just add a little bit more credibility. You could add a testimonial or something in there. But this does not show on mobile, so I just wanted you to be aware if you're typing this in and not seeing it on your mobile ads, it just doesn't show on mobile. And then the last thing that Facebook gives us access to is a call to action button. So these different buttons are what's going to show right here on the ad itself. Most of the time, I use either the learn more or the contact us. The most clicked on one, I believe, is download on Facebook. So if you have a free report or something like that, you can use it. The other thing you can do is no button. I've tested this before to kind of make it look more like a native ad or like somebody shared it. So if it's a video testimonial, you might consider, doing like a no button type thing to make it look, like somebody actually shared it. All right. So that's it. I mean, that's basically what you get access to in Facebook for creating an ad. I'll show you a couple other little nuance type things, and then again at the bottom of this video I will show you some ad examples so you can see actual copy and images that have worked. But what you can do as well is, of course, you can do a video. So you could move this over and select a video. Videos like this, so the best videos are going to be like testimonials or anything you have that builds your credibility, or you in front of the camera, talking to a specific need or addressing a problem that you can solve for somebody. But some other ones that stop the scroll, because remember, all we're trying to do is, attract somebody off of Facebook to our website to learn more about us, to opt in. Could be something that's kind of, this, I don't know what it's called, like cinematography, where it's just kind of a loop of something just real nice like this. So videos like this have worked when the client doesn't have, maybe a testimonial yet, or they're not comfortable being in front of the camera. So that's a good way to do it. And then the carousel type ads. So what these are basically cards, right? And so it's very similar to what I just showed you, except you select an image for each one, and then just do a little headline. can't type and think at the same time, so I'm just coming up with these on the fly. But you could just, do that, and then the next card could be, something else. So these are really good for like testimonials, right? So just building up a bunch of credibility. Also for before and after pictures, showing, properties that you've purchased in the past, or telling a story, which is kind of a more creative way that I've seen brands and investors do it, where it could be like this person was frustrated, and then the next card is them showing them being relieved because they sold their house, and then finally like them holding cash or something like that. So that's another way. When you run Facebook ads like this, you have to send it all to the same URL, so you can't send each of these cards to a different URL. It all goes to the same one. I'm sorry, you can actually do it, but then there's a third or a last card, and at the end it's like, where do you want to send them once they kind of go through the clicking through this journey. At the very end there's a card here, and that'll take them to your website. So that is another good ad format that you can test out. And I would always start with an image ad or a video ad, just to kind of test the market, see what kind of clicks you get. And then as you build more credibility and you have more brand assets, you can branch out to things like the carousel type ad. All right. So that is how to create an effective ad. Again, we will get into the whole campaign structure of how to implement these ads in your campaign. And if you want to see ad examples, then go ahead and look below this video, and we will see you in the next one.